Hey guys, I have some really exciting news. We're sitting here with one of our software developers, Eraj. Eraj, pronounce your last name so I don't mispronounce it.
It's called Khatiwada.
Khatiwala.
Khatiwada.
Khatiwala. Okay.
Yeah.
Eraj is from Nepal, which is in between China and India.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
And Eraj, actually me and Eraj are the same age. He just turned 23. I'm 22. And I've had the chance to get to talk to Eraj a little bit, and I think that his story is really inspiring. So, Eraj, how long have you been in the U.S.?
I've been. I think it's my 5th year.
So he's only been in the United States for 5 years, y'all, and the things he's been able to accomplish, not only in his life in Nepal, but in the U.S. at such a young age, is really inspiring to someone like me. I've never even been outside the country, so I'm excited to talk to you today.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, let's start from Nepal.
Okay.
The other day you were talking about the education system, and to me that was really interesting to hear because I'm born and raised in the U.S. in Louisiana, and so what is, just talk a little bit about how the education system works in Nepal.
So actually, the interesting thing about our education system is that English is taught from grade 1, so it's a compulsory. So you need to learn English along with our own language, Nepali, and along with other subjects like science, social studies, like and other subjects, and we get to learn. So one of the interesting thing is about the education in general is that the coursework that we study in Nepal, it's actually very complex. So compared to US is like you are taught like a good subject coursework, but I think like in our country we are given a lot of coursework. For example, the coursework that I took in my 10th grade, I studied the same coursework here in bachelor's. And the high school is very tough as well. So we have to go through like, so if you are in a science field, so after you pass your 10th grade, you can actually go to different fields that you want to pursue a career in. So you can go to a management school, you can go to a science school, or you can go to like other finance school.
See,
So
that is something that's really interesting to me is that you're kind of picking your path in life at that age.
yep.
Because here in the U.S., you study everything in high school and they prepare you to go to college, but you don't necessarily take classes that you will, be your main focus when you are in college. So that to me is just so amazing.
Yeah, so for me, like I took the 11th grade, I took biology as my major. So you actually select one of your major, and I like biology in general. So I took it, and I found that I had to invest a lot of my time on biology. Like there were like a lot of things, and the coursework was very complex. It wasn't like a simple coursework. It was like very complex. So I thought of not pursuing my career in biology. So I thought of like moving back to my physics or computer science major. So in grade 12, I moved to the physics / like computer science major coursework. And it was fun. Like I liked it, and I think like during that time I figured out that I will be doing something in computer science. So and after passing grade 12, I started preparing for US.
So how does that process work? You decided computer science is really what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you make that decision? Just explain to the audience, you after you graduate, obviously you have to do very well, right? So explain that process of how you get to go to college here.
So one of the things is like I was always interested in computer. So in our coursework, like we taught I think computer as a subject from grade 5. So grade 5 till I think like 12, like you are taught computer. You are taught different levels of things in computer science. I mean, I would say computer in general. You start with basics, what is software, hardware, and then you start like coding in like simple programming languages. You make websites in school while you are in school.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you get to know about like computer science in general while you are in school. And I was actually pretty good like in school as well. Like I was pretty I like building websites. So actually that helped me I think like achieve achieve or like focus more on the computer science, because I was always interested on those stuff. And then after I graduated, I applied I prepared for coming to US as a computer science student, and I took a couple of courses as well. Like before coming here, I took like C, C++ while I was in Nepal. And when I came here, I get to work with my professor, and that actually enhanced the way I learned, because I was learning, I was working with him, I was doing research with him, and it was a fun thing.
But
during
what
that time.
what were the steps that you had to go through to even, be able to what were the steps you went through deciding where you were going to go in the US? Was there like an
Oh,
interview
okay.
process and all of that?
Yeah, so I mean the interview process is it's like it takes a long time. So
Pretty
because-
intense, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So you have to apply for college, and to apply for college, you need to have SAT, and we need to also give the English standardized test. It's called TOEFL, so TOEFL. So it's like the English test in general. If you can apply for a U.S. university, so I did all of those. I applied for like multiple colleges, and I picked Southeastern just because of the fact that my cousin graduated from here, and also there were like a lot of Nepalese studying here, and they were actually working in different fields in computer science in big companies over here. And it was also the fact that I got a good scholarship from here, and I chose to come Southeastern.
So, guys, this is something that really intrigued me about Eraj. He was talking about how much more emphasis is placed on education and getting a great education, and that plays a part of your entire path in life. It's in Nepal, it's so focused on you learning as much as you can,
Yep,
getting you want to have that high education, and so
exactly.
it's so impressive. I mean, you were like top in your class, right?
Yep.
And so obviously that did not come easy. He was pretty much being an adult while in high school, which to me was just so impressive. And I was like, Eraj, out of all of the colleges you could have gone to in the U.S., like Harvard, what made you pick Southeastern? So that was really interesting to hear that it had a great computer science program.
Oh yeah. So I think like one of the thing that I believe in is that like if you in US, because all universities are great, right? In general, they have
Right.
like great coursework, they have great faculty. So I think like I mean you can go to Harvard, but like there is like a lot of steps to go to Harvard. I mean you can be challenged financially, or like you can be challenged from other ways. But I think like if you go to a university and if you study well and do like learn a lot of skills that requires for your major, I think like you can go to Southeastern, you can go to LSU and end up working in big companies. But because at the end, the students from Harvard, like Ivy Leagues in general, and from other university, they end up working in Silicon Valley. So, and we have like a lot of I have a lot of like our Nepalese friend who have been to Silicon Valley. They are working in Amazon, Google. Like they are working in big companies right now. So I think it's just the way. I think it's just that the fact that it can be easier for those universities to be on the students from those universities to be on the Silicon Valley. But I think if you work hard, like you can actually achieve it. I think so.
That's awesome. That's really inspiring, and that's really inspiring. So, what would your advice be to someone that is looking to get into what you do?
Oh, so I think start with like basics. So because computer science, it actually takes I think like few years to be able to work in a company. So start with the basics. I would say make some like simple website. Make some learn a programming language like C, C++, even Python, Java. Learn one language. Make few websites. Like make simple games like tic tac toe, or like make simple games, make simple like quiz app or something like that. That will actually help you know that computer science or the programming or developing in general is this. Like if you think like you can continue this as your career, then you will start like looking more into the research. You will try learning more into different languages, different frameworks. And yeah, there is the computer science is actually a open book, and there is like a lot of things to learn from it. So even I'm learning like every day. So
Right.
I'm always learning. So
So you actually took it. You took it an extra mile in college, right? You worked under your professor, where you were able to learn hands on, and also he was able to learn. So describe that for me.
so yeah. So it was my first semester. I was looking for like some internship or like some research opportunity. So I was talking with like few professors about those opportunity, and I got to chance like to meet Dr. Min. So Min Hoon, he's a marketing. I think he's a supply chain professor in Southeastern. He was actually a interim department head before as well. So I get to meet with him as well, and he was very fascinating because of the fact that he was from a different major, but he was always interested in learning about like the programming in general. So he was making websites. He was making like his own website for the class and stuff.
Cool.
And I talked with him. I applied for it for the position, and I was accepted because of the fact that I was also in an amateur phase during that time. I didn't know like a lot of things. And he wanted a student similar to me, so that while I learn like different things, he will also get to learn those things, because like that will help him learn it faster, and we can actually build different websites and apps for the university. And then I think like we it took a few months for me to learn the new framework. So we were working on the Ionic framework. So it's a framework built in. So we were using Angular during that time. The Ionic was based on Angular framework. So and we were building apps and websites for the university. We started doing it for like different career fairs. So we actually built for the market for the business like career fairs, and like we built a couple of apps, and that actually helped because I was the only one working for him. That got me chance to like do everything related to software, because like now to build a software you need to plan ahead, you need to design the software, you need to code the software, you need to publish the software and all those stuff. So it was very learning. That whole thing actually helped me learn a lot of things like for like for a big company like DirectMail. So that was my like that actually helped me learn like a lot of things.
So talk me through a little bit of your mindset upon arriving to the US. What were you hoping to find aside from, getting a great job in another part of a great education? Were you looking to find a community, friends? Like how was that, Southeastern is a big college, but it's not the biggest. So how were you able to navigate your way in a different country? How
Yeah.
was that for you?
So actually, so I was always like focused on education, but since I was leaving everything behind, right? I was leaving my family and everything behind. So so one of the things that I was like always looking for is making friends, because friends are family for international students. And I think like I made a good friends over here, and then the shifting like the switch from Nepal to here, it takes a while, like it takes like few weeks to like to get to know all everything like the American culture. So I mean it was fun. It was fun because people were all like polite. They were like welcoming, and that actually fascinated me because of the fact that like USA is very welcoming to outsiders. So yeah, that fascinated me. The switch was like very smooth, I would say. Like it was very fun as well, and I was actually focused more on the learning side, because I think like I was in general like from Nepal, like I wanted to learn new things, and I came here like I focused like most of my probably time, I would say, learning, working like for my professors, like doing small projects, and I was actually invested on those things, and that actually I think like helped me get good grades as well. So I have almost like 4.0. So I had, yeah, I mean I don't have like 4.0, but I have almost 4.0.
Right.
So I mean I got the good
So
grades,
great.
and luckily like I get to work here as an intern. So because of those like learning, I would say.
So if, why is our company a great place for a developer to start?
I think so. What I would say is like in most companies, like what they do is they will make uh, website for different clients. Like for example, they will make websites for restaurant, right? So for a restaurant, just the landing page of the restaurant, not the full like delivery side, but just like you have a client, you are making a website for a simple client, right? Like where you will list like contact, you will list their basic basic
Basics.
basic information. And I think like most of the companies, the software company, they do that. They will work like simple static, like not I wouldn't say static, but simple website for different companies. But here in direct mail, so what we do is the interesting part is that like we have a software to build a website. So we build landing pages for different websites. So we have a software to build website like of other companies, like for different occasions, for like different campaigns. So to start with, that was the fascinating thing for me. And one other thing I think like that fascinated me working here was that you don't get to work with SMS, email, like in most of the company. So here, like we are a marketing company, so we deal everything about the marketing, right? You deal everything about SMS, email, phone,
So many different
so
pieces
many,
of
yeah,
marketing.
so many different pieces. And the thing is, you are using all those things in your day-to-day life. So as a developer perspective, like if because it's all about technology, right? All those things are technology. So as a developer perspective, like I think like you get to know how all those things work in general. And that is also something that fascinated me. And also we are a marketing company. We have like big data of like different clients. And recently I get to work with the Elasticsearch. So we moved from our like the traditional way of searching our database, and we moved into we moved all our data to Elasticsearch for searching. So I mean there is always like new changes, like we are doing here, like for just to keep up with the stack. And we are always like learning. I would say we are always in the right direction, I would say, of like stack of languages that we use. And in general, like it's very interesting for a developer to work here.
So what the thing that you do day to day is keeping you a little bit ahead of the curve, and that you're not just focused on this one piece. Because we are a digital marketing company and we have so much more to offer, you're getting to learn every little bit of it.
Yeah. So and one of the thing is I think like so what I would say is like the thing that I learned in school and here it's like I mean I learned the basics in school, but I think like I learned the most to implement those things over here. Like and I also learned like different things, like for example marketing pixel, like because I never knew like what pixels were in general. And I knew like a couple of different, like how all the dealership work in general, how they market their customers. So it was actually very fascinating for me, like how everything worked in general, because like I think I did never learned all those things while I was like not working here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, guys, something cool that we're doing today, we are taking a field trip to New Orleans. So, Eraj, you've only been to New Orleans once, right?
I have been to like a couple of times,
Okay, well,
but
I'm excited to go with you, and you don't really know what to expect every time you go to New Orleans. So I think that this is going to be a super cool experience to just be able to spend the day with you guys. And there's something that I want to say about our company. I think it's awesome that we're getting to work here, and that, it's the time that our company takes to invest in us as people. It has allowed us to kind of, it's a great work culture. And so had we not take this time, I wouldn't have learned all these really cool things about Eraj. So I'm very excited for today.
yeah, me too. Yeah, because I've been to New Orleans like a couple of times, but I've only been to the Bourbon Street, like the French Quarter side. I haven't been to the other historical sites, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, guys, we'll see you there.